The moment itself is not an arrival. There are no lights in the sky, no ships descending, no message broadcast to humanity. Nothing comes. Instead, something is revealed. A signal is detected not from deep space but from orbit. Old, faint, artificial. A pattern hidden inside background noise that satellites have recorded for decades and ignored because it was too consistent to matter. Consistency, it turns out, was the clue. The signal is not communication. It is observation. At first, scientists assume malfunction. Echoes, reflections, a quirk of instrumentation. But the pattern repeats across systems built by different nations at different times with different technologies. The same signal, the same geometry, always there, always watching. The illusion holds because the signal does nothing. It does not interfere. It does not respond. It does not change. Humanity has been trained to expect contact to be loud, demanding, obvious. But this is silent, passive, almost respectful, like a camera left running. The idea is dismissed publicly. Privately, panic spreads through research institutions. Classified meetings are called. Data is compartmentalized. Analysts realize the signal predates modern technology. It was present before satellites were common, before computers were powerful enough to notice it, before humanity was interesting. Then the realization lands. The signal adjusts, not in response to messages, in response to events, wars, nuclear tests, pandemics, mass extinctions. Every time humanity crosses a certain threshold, technological, biological, social, the signal shifts slightly, not to intervene, to record. This is not surveillance in the human sense. It is study. The public learns slowly. Leaks appear, fragments of data, inconclusive reports. Governments deny everything while quietly aligning narratives. Religious leaders debate whether watchers imply creators. Philosophers argue whether observation implies judgment. The world does not unite. It fractures. Some people feel relief. If aliens are watching, then humanity matters. Others feel terror. If aliens are watching, then humanity is vulnerable. Most feel something worse. Exposure. The feeling that every achievement, every atrocity, every mistake has been witnessed by something that never looked away. People change behavior instinctively, not because they are told to, because being watched rewires the mind. Crime drops in some areas, spikes in others. Some people become careful, others become performative. Violence turns theatrical. Altruism becomes spectacle. Everyone wants to be seen the right way. The signal never comments. It does not reward. It does not punish. It records. Astronomers discover something else. The signal is not singular. There are thousands of them, distributed across orbital positions that make no sense for human engineering. They are ancient, maintained by self-repair systems far beyond current technology. Some have been there for millions of years. Earth is not unique. It is one of many. A catalog entry. The implication is devastating. Aliens did not come when humans invented fire, or agriculture, or language. They did not arrive with cities or empires. They were already here before humanity was aware enough to look up. Watching bacteria turn into ecosystems. Watching primates stand upright. Watching tools become weapons. Waiting. The first protests erupt, not against governments, but against the sky. People demand answers from something that does not respond. Some try to communicate directly. Others beg for intervention. A few demand protection from whatever might come next. Nothing happens. The watchers remain silent. The psychological damage deepens. Every human narrative relies on privacy at some level. The idea that mistakes fade, that history forgets, that judgment is delayed or abstract. Now there is certainty. Nothing was forgotten. Every genocide, every experiment, every lie told at scale, all of it archived by something that does not share human morality. The question changes. Not are they friendly? Not are they hostile? But why haven't they acted?
Scientistes proposent théorie.
Maybe the watchers are bound by rules. Maybe intervention is forbidden. Maybe they are waiting for a trigger, first contact, faster than light travel, artificial intelligence, planetary self-destruction. Or maybe they are waiting for extinction. The idea spreads quietly. What if civilizations are allowed to develop freely until they collapse, and only then are they collected, studied, or archived? What if Earth is not a project, but a case study? Humanity begins to see itself differently, not as a protagonist, as a subject. Governments attempt control. Information is filtered, education reframed, panic minimized, but trust erodes. Every denial feels smaller than the sky itself. Conspiracy theories explode, not because people are irrational, but because the truth is too large to feel contained. Religion splits along new lines. Some believe the Watchers are angels. Others believe they are demons. Others reject all belief systems, unable to reconcile silent observation with divine justice. The phrase, "we are not alone," loses comfort. Loneliness is replaced by scrutiny. Children ask the hardest questions. Are they watching me? Do they know my name? Will they stop bad things from happening? Adults have no answers, because the Watchers have already allowed everything that has ever happened. Every war, every famine, every cruelty justified by survival. The signal does not change when humans suffer. It only changes when humans change themselves. Technology accelerates under pressure, not to escape, to be worthy. Humanity races to present its best version before a judgment it does not understand. Climate action surges. Global cooperation spikes and collapses repeatedly. Every failure feels magnified by the idea of witnesses. History becomes a performance, and performance is exhausting. Then one final discovery breaks what little comfort remains. The signal does not originate outside time. It loops. The Watchers are not just recording the present. They are comparing it across multiple timelines, across civilizations that reached this stage before. Humanity is not being watched to decide what will happen. It is being watched to see if anything different happens this time. The implication is clear and unbearable. Others have stood where humanity stands now. Others were watched, and whatever came next was not contact. It was conclusion. As the world stares upward, no longer asking if it is being observed but why dash, a realization settles slowly, heavily, without drama. This was not first contact. It was confirmation. Confirmation that humanity has never been alone and never been unobserved. This was not discovery. It was exposure, a fundamental loss, the loss of innocence. And whatever comes next will not begin with a greeting. It will begin with a verdict. Time passes, and the sky remains silent. No dissent, no ultimatum, no answer. That silence becomes the defining feature of the new world. Humanity does not collapse. It reorganizes itself around the certainty of being observed. The initial panic fades, replaced by something heavier and more permanent. Awareness, the kind that never turns off. Civilization adapts unevenly. Some societies lean into transparency. Governments publish more data, reduce secrecy, perform morality in public view. They behave as if history itself has become an exam and someone else is grading. Other societies retreat.
Surveillance turn noir.
Control tightens. If humanity is being watched, then mistakes must be minimized. Deviance becomes dangerous, not because of law, but because of optics. The idea spreads quietly. We are being evaluated. Not officially. No authority declares it. But people act as if it is true, and behavior follows belief. Crime changes shape. Some crimes decline, driven by the fear of cosmic witnesses. Others mutate into acts of defiance. If everything is being recorded anyway, then shame loses power. Extremism grows louder. Violence becomes symbolic. People are no longer just hurting each other. They are sending messages. Culture transforms. Art becomes self-conscious. Painters, writers, filmmakers all struggle with the same invisible audience. Who are they really creating for now? Humans. Or something older, quieter, incomprehensible? Irony fades. Sincerity rises and collapses under its own weight. Every statement feels like testimony. Religion fractures completely. Some faiths proclaim the watchers as proof of divine hierarchy. Others declare them false gods. New movements emerge, worshiping observation itself, the belief that being seen gives meaning to existence. Confession becomes ritual, not to priests, to the sky. Children grow up differently. They do not remember a world without watchers. To them, being observed is normal. They ask fewer questions about privacy and more about purpose. Why are we interesting enough to watch? What are they waiting for? Education changes tone. History is no longer taught as progress, but as pattern. Teachers emphasize cycles, rise, conflict, collapse. Students learn that civilizations before them may have been studied the same way, and that survival is not guaranteed by intelligence. The pressure reshapes ambition. Why innovate if innovation might trigger intervention? Why expand if expansion attracts attention? Technological growth slows in some areas and accelerates recklessly in others. Some argue humanity must hide. Others argue it must impress. The disagreement fractures global cooperation. The watchers remain silent. Then comes the first real shift. Not from the sky, from humanity. A global crisis erupts. Not unique, not unprecedented. A resource conflict, a regional war, the kind of event that has happened countless times before. But this time, people hesitate. Leaders delay decisions, aware of the watchers. Militaries restrain escalation. Negotiators push harder for resolution. For the first time, fear of judgment outweighs fear of enemies. The conflict de-escalates. The signal changes, barely, but unmistakably. Scientists confirm it. The pattern shifts in a way never recorded before. Not during wars, not during extinctions, not during nuclear tests. This is new. The conclusion is unavoidable. The watchers respond not to violence. They respond to restraint. The world reacts instantly. Hope surges. The idea that behavior matters electrifies civilization. Maybe this is the test. Maybe humanity is being evaluated not for power, but for control. A fragile optimism spreads. Global agreements follow.
Disarmament discussion restart.
Climate action intensifies. Cooperation becomes fashionable again. For a moment, humanity behaves as if it truly believes it is not alone. The signal remains steady, not approving, not rejecting, recording. Then the cracks appear. Sacrifice grows uneven. Some nations give up advantage. Others exploit restraint. Power imbalances resurface. Trust fractures. The old instincts return quietly, and with them, conflict. The signal does not react. Not this time. The lesson is brutal. There is no reward for improvement. There is no punishment for failure. Only observation. Humanity realizes too late that the watchers are not judges. They are archivists. They are not waiting to decide what happens next. They are waiting to see what humanity does when it knows it is being watched and still chooses itself. The philosophical damage is immense. Meaning collapses inward. If there is no verdict, no intervention, no guidance, then being watched changes nothing except perception. Morality must exist without audience. Choice must exist without consequence beyond itself. That realization terrifies more than invasion ever could, because it means the watchers are not responsible. Humanity is. The idea of cosmic supervision dissolves. What remains is exposure without protection, observation without care, knowledge without mercy. People stop performing. Slowly, they return to ordinary cruelty, ordinary kindness, ordinary mistakes. The sky fades back into background. The watchers remain, but attention shifts back to Earth. Life goes on, and that is the final, devastating truth. The universe did not intervene. The watchers did not save anyone. They did not destroy anyone either. They watched, and in doing so, they revealed something humanity was not prepared to face. That even under infinite observation, with the weight of the cosmos staring back, humans still choose fear, pride, love, violence, cooperation, and betrayal in familiar proportions. Not because they are evil, but because they are human. The Watchers record one last thing consistently. Civilizations are not destroyed by being seen. They are destroyed by what they do when they realize no one is coming to stop them. This was not surveillance. It was a mirror stretched across the stars. And humanity, finally understanding that it has always been alone with its choices, looks away from the sky and back at itself. This was not contact. It was confirmation. Confirmation that being watched does not change who we are. Only knowing ourselves can. And that knowledge, more than any alien presence, is the heaviest burden humanity has ever carried.